Welcome to Introduction to Components. After watching this video, you will be able to explain what React components are, describe the features of React components, compare and contrast the three types of components, and create a Hello World React component. You create React applications with modular chunks of code called components. Components are the building blocks of React applications and make building complex user interfaces easier by breaking down the UI into individual pieces. Then, you merge them into a parent component that forms what the user sees and interacts with. React components enable you to break up the user interface into separate elements. These can then be reused and handled independently. A React component takes on optional input and returns a React object, which is rendered on the screen. The React component renders pieces of the web page. You develop the component's code so it knows how to behave and update when the user interacts with it. This modification of the component is called a state change. You also manage events, such as selecting a button with a component state. A component is composed of three aspects: properties, events, and states. You use a component's properties to store and pass data from a parent to a child component. Events manage the document object model, DOM, as a result of the user's interaction with the system. You use a component state to update the UI. React has three types of components: class, functional, and higher order. Functional components are written like JavaScript functions. They can take arguments and return JSX. Before React version 16.8, functional components were stateless. You can now use function components with states as of the introduction of hooks in version 16.8. Developers generally now prefer function components because they are relatively easy to read and test. This code example shows a simple functional component in React. In the code, the function demo component returns the phrase welcome message as JSX. You can use JavaScript ES6 classes to create class-based components in React. You can pass data from one class component to another class component. They use the main React functions such as state, props, and lifecycle methods. After the introduction of hooks in version 16.8, developers tend to prefer functional over class components because class components are more complex. A higher order component, HOC, allows you to reuse component logic. You can compose components together by taking a component as an argument to another component. It renders the parameter component along with additional features. In this video, you'll learn that you create React applications with modular code called components. Components break up the user interface into separate parts that you can reuse and handle independently. A React component renders the initial user interface, manages and handles events, updates the user interface according to its state. The three types of React components include functional, class, and higher order.